Well, the person you're about to meet here on Boomer TV has something in common with your Boomer TV co-host.
We're old.
We are? No!
He's not. Well, kind of.
Well, we've all been on TV in the morning for a
that's
long stretch.
In this market, in
Yeah.
Indianapolis, and you'll know him. You've heard his name. Dick Wolfsie?
Dick the Bruiser, let me tell you something. I'm not scared of you. Let me tell you that right now.
Shut up, Wolfsie. I've had enough of you. You woke me up a half hour ago. You climbed over my fence.
What have you been up to?
Oh gosh, I am still on television 2 days a week.
Now I see on Wish TV. Are
I'm
we
on
talking
Wish TV,
still
Saturday
doing the
and
weekend
Sundays,
reporting?
And I'm actually doing exactly the same thing I've done since 1983. Well, not since 83, because I had a talk show for a
Right,
while
I remember that
downtown.
with Patty, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also after that, I was on Channel 13 down at Union Station.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. But I still do the same kind of remotes. I find goofy, crazy things going on. People with odd collections, people that, heartwarming stories. And I still do it, but only twice a week, so it makes life a little easier than working every day. I write a humor column.
You can write. You're a good writer.
Thank you. I write a humor, and I'm very proud of that. And I'm in about 35 newspapers, and around the country they pick up the column too.
I know.
So that's really cool for me, because something
cool.
funny will happen during the day, and I've written 1,000 of these now for 20 years, every week for 20 years. I've written about 12 books, so I'm just very lucky.
What was the first book you ever wrote?
Well, the first book was really lousy, so I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. What about the second book?
Well, I've written
12, you said.
I've written 12, but four of them were a compilation of the columns, so they're easy to put together.
Got it.
But my two most popular books one was called Indiana Curiosities, and it was the 300 strangest places in Indiana to visit. And that took me 2 years to write. I went to every county. And then my most popular book, in fact, it was actually a big seller in Europe too, was Mornings with Barney, which was all about my dog.
And that was based on your Mornings with Barney.
It was based on 12 years, 2,700 shows, where he came with me literally every day. He was always in trouble. Great story. A veterinarian heard me on TV complaining about the dog.
Okay.
So he said, I'm going to come over and teach your dog not to dig and to chew.
Oh.
And we did a show on my front step. And while he talked to me about the therapy, Barney dug up the entire garden. And then we went to a commercial break, and we never came back because he chewed the microphone cord. That's a true story. That's a true story. And to this day, I know.
R.I.P.
And people say, he was so funny. I said, well, he was a dog. He wasn't funny. I mean, he didn't know to be funny. He just was always in trouble.
Well, we love the Barney stories, and I'm not surprised it was one of your huge big
Yeah.
bestsellers. Who would you say has influenced you?
There were 3 people in my life who made a huge difference for me in terms of being on television and writing. One was Soupy Sales, who
funny
I
guy.
watched as a kid, and when I was in New York on television, he and I co-hosted together.
Oh my gosh,
and we
you're kidding.
And we became friends. And he came here then to Indianapolis to do the comedy clubs, and I was with him every single day for 2 weeks. The other person was Art Buchwald, who I met when I was in college and did a story on him when I had a humor column in college. And then over the past 35 years or so, we had stayed in touch. Not a lot, but stayed in touch. And he influenced my column writing. And then my hero of all time was Steve Allen, who, if you're very young, you might, under 50 maybe, you might not even remember Steve Allen. But Steve Allen was a creative genius, and I've read all his books, and he and I probably I've interviewed him 6 or 7 times. And again, I don't want to say we were friends, but he influenced me, and I knew him, and he knew me, and so those are the 3 people. They were real special. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for the city of Indianapolis, all that you've brought us over the
well,
years.
thank you. I
It's
hope
been
lots more.
incredible. How many times have we laughed with you, laughed at you,
Yeah,
mostly with
no,
you.
yeah, that's right. I've done a few things that I deserve that. So
You've had an amazing run.
thank you, Julie. Great to see you.
great to
It's been
see
a
you
long
too.
time. Good to see you.
Julie Patterson, Boomer TV.